Dhabi is where the real money is. Mr. Roman Rossoff, right, was the lead product development officer for a startup company that's now a $15.5 billion company. And the gentleman in the middle, Mr. Reeve Collins, is arguably one of the most influential people in cryptocurrency. He's the founder and former CEO of Tether. And I want you to put this in perspective, ladies and gentlemen, so you understand. 12 years ago, Tether didn't exist. It is now doing, on average, 150 to $200 billion a day in transactions, 7 days a week. To put that in perspective, that's about 4 to 5 times larger than the largest bank in the world. And this isn't a company that didn't exist. And he is one of the founders and board member of WeFi. Let me just make this statement. WeFi is defining a new category. We're an absolutely new category creator in the space of finance. It's not just a bank. It's a new kind of financial system. And at the end of this call, you're going to hear about who we're partnered up with. And when you're talking about new kind of financial system, where every transaction runs on blockchain and smart contracts, where we're bringing together the old world of traditional, fiat world and the digital economy into the next generation system. And that's how we're pulling it together, right? So just let me talk to you a little bit about the type of money that's earned in some of the companies above in the industry. In 2024, we'll update this when we have the numbers in 25. You don't normally get them till around the middle of February, right? There was over $40 billion in commissions across this sector in 2024. That was on a Web 2 platforms. We're Web 3. In the cryptocurrency industry, there was $100 billion earning commissions across that sector in 2024. And in banking, there was $1.5 trillion earning commissions across this sector in 2024. When you take all the verticals of all the industries we're talking about a market capitalization of commissions that's about $3 trillion. This is where it really gets crazy. These 3 core industries are expected to grow between 15 to 20% annually. So when you put that compound effect into it, we're talking about a market capitalization in the next 5 years of somewhere between $5 to $7 trillion. That's on Web 2. When that starts moving into Web 3, ladies and gentlemen, you get an understanding of how big this pie can be, right? And this is where WeFi gives you a chance to earn a piece of that pie, right? As I said, it's the world's first decentralized bank where you can earn when somebody buys crypto, earns crypto, or spends cryptocurrency, right? So with WeFi, we have 3 income strategies. We have the WeFi mining, the WeFi app referral fee, and there's a referral fee from the ITO sales. And in each of these, you have multiple streams of income possibilities, right? So it's the intermediate and long term, right, from the mining, where it's going to pay you to hold and accumulate the token. And once you understand and start getting knowledge about cryptocurrency, especially Web3, there's 2 things you're going to want to do. It's a bit like gold. What do you do with gold? You want to have more gold and hold more gold. Well, that's going to be the exact same with certain coins in that marketplace. And we believe our token, the WFI token, absolutely fits into that category, right? And then we have the right now money, paid instantly money in your pocket, folding money, as a friend of mine said, where it's paid to you instantly. It's not like your job where maybe you do a day's work and the guy gives you a salary at the end of the day, or you get paid from your company on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. With WeFi, you're paid instantly. Within anywhere from 30 to 90 seconds, right, once you do it, once you bring in a customer or do a transaction, it's paid to you instantly into your wallet that you can go spend. And you get that from the WeFi app referral fee and the referral fees from the ITO sales, right? So we have 2 types of people who look at the business, right? Somebody who just wants to become a passive participant. They want to just build their wealth, with WeFi. They just want to get a good token and hold on to it. A bit like, getting gold. As I said, the more gold you have, the more gold you want. Well, I believe the more Bitcoin you have, the more Bitcoin you want. And I believe our token, a WFI token, fits exactly into that category, right? So when you're buying an ITO, you're buying a digital asset that's securing you a daily stream of the WFI tokens as mined and delivered to your wallet every day until 2022. A bit like how Bitcoin is produced. Bitcoin is created by a mining process. Well, Our ITO does the exact same. It provides the power to mine the WFI token on your behalf. The second you buy it, you just leave it there and it works for you for the next 7 years, producing you the tokens. So what is an ITO? Well, think of it as energy, or I suppose application that allows you access to WeFi, the world's first decentralized bank, Web3 bank, where you can access all the benefits and services that WeFi performs, but also allows you to be a participant in the world's first decentralized bank. And I'll say it again, the ITO pack continues to generate tokens right through till 2032. So once you purchase, it's a plug and play. It works on your behalf for the next 7 years, right? So let me give you an example of somebody who's a passive participant. A passive participant, a one-time purchase of $1,000 will give you somewhere around 1,667 ITOs, which is going to mine you daily approximately somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 tokens over the next 7 years. So let's look at this maybe as a business or wealth growing strategy. If you have 5,000 tokens and the price of the token goes to $1, very, very simple. Well, it's worth $5,000. Well, good news, ladies and gentlemen, right? The price of the token when I seen it was at 40 cents. That was in June of last year. It is now, it's at about $2.70. I didn't look at it in the last day or two, and I don't look at it. My goal is to accumulate and hold and get as many of these tokens as I possibly can. So as I said, if the price of the token goes to $3, well, your $1,000 is now worth 15,000. Well, maybe at the end of this presentation, you'll see where I believe the potential of this coin can go, right? And I definitely think it's going to go a lot more than $4. That's my own personal opinion. So that's somebody who's a passive participant. But also, you've been invited on this call to, if you would like to become an active participant. You get all the benefits of passives, but also you get direct referral commissions and team building bonuses. And I'm going to share it with you, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, every day, is an active participant with the clothes to wear, if they've seen a good movie, they had a good meal, or anything that, if they've seen a good Netflix series, you'll tell people about, right? You're already telling people about products and services you use. So why not tell them about a bank that they have an opportunity to participate in? Because I believe if you don't share this opportunity with them and they find out that you're in it later on, they will not be impressed. Well, so why didn't you just tell me about it? Let me make my own decision. Because if you have a bank or a product or service where you can save money, and not only can you save money, but you can also make money, I believe it'll be your obligation just to tell people about it, right? And of course, we get referral fees for being active in the business. You'll get anywhere from 5% right up to 25% of people who are in your bank. What I mean, did you just say, Frankie, in your bank? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the second you purchase an ITO, whether it's $250, $1,000, $10,000, whatever suits your pocket, you've just opened up the first branch of your bank. So if your kids are using Revolut or Google Pay or whatever it is they're using right now, you are helping a Web2 bank make money. Well, why not help yourself, where you can earn commissions on people's transactions and people joining the business? Very, very simple. We have a full presentation that goes into in detail on how you can make money with this platform. It's a 45-minute presentation. It's in on our website. We'll do an in-depth explanation on the compensation plan, right? Here's what I will say. Early adopters in any new ventures make the most money. But you didn't get a call to join Uber, Apple, or Airbnb at the very beginning. Why? Because that's for a select group of venture capitalists. You didn't just get that opportunity. But today, you've had an opportunity, and you cannot say, to become involved in a company and acquire the WFI tokens, which I believe is Bitcoin 3.0. I'm not saying it's better than Bitcoin. It's the next evolution of where cryptocurrency has to go with technology, right? And this is where the opportunity is going to get crazy. There's over 4.5 billion people in the world use traditional banking, and only 10% to 15% of these can access cryptocurrency on an easy basis. There's also an additional 1.5 billion people in the world that are currently unbanked. For whatever reason, they're illegal in the country or wherever they are in the world, they cannot access a bank account. If you have a smartphone and access to the internet, that's all you need to become part of WeFi. That's the only thing you need to become part of the WeFi. Research by one of the largest financial institutions, right, has stated in the next 3 to 5 years, they believe that over 50% of the population, we're talking about 3 billion people, are going to want to enter the cryptocurrency market for 2 key reasons. One is AI, and 2 is Web3. Really, really important. You start understanding that we're the world's first Web3 bank, right? There's an old saying, where people goes, money flows. And trust me, this is not me telling you this. Some of the biggest financial companies in the world, JP Morgan, right, just announced last week that there are 18,000 financial advisors who have underneath them over $8 trillion, all right, are going to start promoting cryptocurrency. If only 1% of their market, which they estimate over 5% will go in, if only 1% of that goes into it, that will be an additional $90 billion coming into the cryptocurrency market. And $90 billion coming into it. So now you can see we're talking big numbers here. Very, very simply, right? So think of this. Anytime you see somebody today, if you're out and about, you see somebody in a train, plane, bus, whatever it is, in a shop, getting a cup of coffee, driving a car, they've done a financial transaction to get there. That's what they have to do. They've had to put gas in the car, ticket on a plane, you know, a cup of coffee. They've had to do a financial transaction. Imagine you participating in that. Not the big, you know, the big companies, right? You participate in that. When somebody does a wire transfer fee, a cryptocurrency fee, a Visa card purchase, a Visa card transaction, or a variety of loan services. So why do I think the token will gain traction? Well, very, very simple. Right? Very, very simple. Any mobile device is going to be able to turn into a payment terminal, right? We already have POS machines and ATMs which are being launched and deployed starting in Dubai this year. They're already being deployed, and we've seen them at the launch event not the launch event, an event I was invited to in June of this year. In fact, the machine on the right was the one that got my most attention. I know how an ATM works, and I know how to tap my card when I'm paying a bill. It was the actually vending machine that got my most attention. I went like, how does this work in the space of a neobank and a decentralized bank? Well, first of all, the gentleman says it's a franchise opportunity. It's a business within the business, right? And he says all of his was marketing. He says, because we're a Web3 bank, we're in the cloud. And I said, where? In the cloud, up there. He said, but we're going to have physical presence as well. And he said, with this machine, if somebody buys a Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, Red Bull, or whatever the product or service that's hot and it's on, you know, really applicable in your country, people will be able to buy it with fiat, crypto, or the WFI token. And he said, just think of it. He said, Frankie, do you realize there's more vending machines in the world than there is ATMs? So with this, I realized that these guys really had an A game and had a product and service that was going to do something different. It was 33 days later, though, I really understood the scope of the opportunity. When I got to talk to one of the gentlemen in the office who was part of the sales team and the technology team that was working on the POS machine, the point of sale terminal. And he said, look, he said, any small to medium to large enterprise, if there's a certain day of the week that their business is quiet or they've too much inventory after a certain holiday or a certain period, they can, in on the platform, they're going to be able to put in a discount service and notify the literally hundreds of millions of WeFi users around the world about their product and service. So with that, I knew it was going to be a game changer. Next week, first phase of our exchange will roll out. We already have a card where you can spend crypto. You can do it on our virtual card online. So congratulations, if you're already in the business, you have access to it. If you're not in the business, ladies and gentlemen, you need to get in, right, and become part of the community. You have a wallet where you can hold and manage your funds. We already are earning from transactions literally on a daily basis. We have people in the business earning on tens of thousands of transactions. And in the third quarter of this year, right, as the bank rolls out, as the products and service rolls out, you're going to be able to get loans and from funds in stable coins. So WeFi, their core token is WFI, which is empowering the ecosystem where you can buy, earn, and spend cryptocurrency. And it is revolutionizing the remittance, cryptocurrency, and banking industry with a token with exponential growth opportunity. Write this down, go to CoinMarketCap and look at WFI token. Have a look at it. If you're not in the business now, just write it down. And if you don't join the business, come back and look at it years later and see where it is. And just remember, somebody shared you an opportunity to get as many of these as you could at a wholesale rate. Very, very simple, right? So a $1,000 technology pack, if the price of the token hits $10, it will be worth $50,000. We don't know what it will hit, ladies and gentlemen, but we do know the possibilities of what tokens have done in the past, right? And the reason I put these two up is one of them is very, very near and dear to my heart, because in 2017, 2018, this is really when I became engaged in cryptocurrency and I started buying tokens, right? And I didn't know what I was doing, I'll be truthful, but I also didn't realize. And if this is the only thing you get from this call actually today, it'll be worth your while spending the half an hour on the call, right? You have to treat cryptocurrency the same way as you would any valuable asset. Whether you're buying a house, investing in a property, investing in an apartment, investing in a business, or investing in a rare commodity. What makes it valuable is holding over time. And the reason I put the BNB token here is in 2017-18, I acquired over 8,000 of these tokens. Every one, some of them had at 20 cents, some of them at 25 cents, but every one of the 8,000 I had acquired at less than $1.50. Here's the mistake I made. I didn't understand the business I was in or the industry I was in, right? And I sold them when they went to $15. I looked at the price of them yesterday because I was doing something, and they were worth over $900. $900. So do the maths, write the little note down later on, do the maths, 8,000 tokens multiplied by $900, all right? And 8,000 tokens by $15, and you'll see the mistake I made, right? The Aave token I put here is, I just wanted to show you the price of that token, because I believe minimum, we're going to be 2 or 3x what Aave is, because all they are is a lending protocol. That's all they are, right? That's all the Aave token is a lending protocol. And when I show you a comparison in a minute, this is where I believe in 5 to 7 years, we're going to be way above that, right? Why? Because we're the best performing project in crypto rankings last year. We went up 821%. This is information that's out there, ladies and gentlemen. You can go find it. You can go find it. We went up 821% in a year. So what I'm saying, if it only does that in the next 7 years, if that's all it does, and in this cryptocurrency space, if that's all it did in the next 7 years, which for people who are in the space, and when you start doing your research, this pretty much is going to be an impossibility to only do that. It would mean that your one-time purchase of $1,000 with the 5,000 tokens, if the price of the token hits $25, would be worth $126,000. Your $2,000 purchase or your $5,000 purchase. Now, what if, or even your $10,000 purchase? What does the numbers? What does it go to? Right? What if it does what we think the possibilities is, right? And there's certain, I suppose, dynamics that makes a token valuable. I'm going to share with you some of them in a minute, right? But the 3 key components is, does it have real world value right now? Is it a real world asset? And is it the right team behind it? I believe we hit it on the nail with all 3, right? Right now, the current token is sitting, when this screenshot was done on December the 10th, the price of the token was $238. We're already at $270, maybe even $280. I think it may even pop to $280, right? When I seen the business, it was 40 cents. In August last year, it actually had gone to 59 cents. So it has real world value and real world liquidity. There's plenty of liquidity in the marketplace. In fact, we have more liquidity in the marketplace right now than Bitcoin had when it was $250 a token or a coin. That's a fact. You go write that down and check it out. When Bitcoin was $250, have a look at the liquidity it had in the marketplace and have a look at our liquidity right now. So where do I think it'll be? Well, I'm not saying I think we're the next evolution. The second thing, is it a real world asset? Well, I'm going to cover that in a minute. And who's the people behind it? These are the 3 key components when you immerse yourself in cryptocurrency and understand the opportunity of what people can do, right? But this gives you a chance to be an early adapter and to participate at the foundation stage. As a partner, so when you purchase an ITO and stake them, you get a real world asset at a fraction of the cost. So there's two ways of buying the product. You can buy it wholesale or buy it retail. When you get it through an ITO, you're buying it at wholesale. The only caveat is you have to hold it for a number of years. And of course, that's what you're going to want to do. Once you understand cryptocurrency, it's going to be exactly like gold. There's only one thing you're ever going to want to do is acquire more of it. That's as simple as this. Oh, hang on a second. I have to bring up the wrong presentation. Just bear with me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear with me just 1 second. I wanted to bring up. There's a slide I wanted to bring up, and I don't know why it didn't pop in there. I'm so excited I opened the wrong presentation. Sorry, was that? My apologies. That's what happens when you get excited about a company. Now we get technical difficulties right at the wrong time. Bear with me for 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. Right. I don't know what's after going on there. My apologies, folks. My slides are after getting all messed up today. Let me have a look. Just looking for our special guest. Let me see if he's on. Just bear with me, folks. Just give me 1 second. I want to see if Dr. John if he's on the call. Just to be honest. Oh, he's in. He's in. I see him here. Sorry. Hello, sir.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Thank you very, very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we have a special guest coming on the call. What I believe what we heard yesterday is going to change the whole space of not only cryptocurrency, but also the financial system of what we've seen and how interactions. So anybody who's been paying attention, they've seen the news of what happened with Amazon and Ripple 2 or 3 days ago. Absolutely phenomenal news in the cryptocurrency and banking industry. The partnership that has attended there. But Dr. John, welcome to the call. We have 127 people on the call today.
Great.
On a Saturday morning call. Maybe just share with you your insight of what we heard yesterday from our CEO Maxime.
Yes, with all pleasure. So I'm trying to see how can I put my video. I don't see if I can put the video.
Anyway. Hang on. No, let me see if I can do that now. No, John, sorry, you can't.
Don't worry. At least I can hear me loud and clear, right?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, sir.
All right, good. Before I even tell them what happened on that call, it is very important. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Good. I would like to invite each and every one to align with WeFi's vision. The alignment of the vision is very, very important. Once you all understand exactly what we are doing, you are on the forefront of something historic in the financial realm globally. The next step is you need to increase, and you should increase, your belief. You see, when people have doubts, concerns, questions, don't understand, don't know, I don't know, I don't think so. When you have clear understanding, belief will go through the roof. And how do we build belief, especially with the prospects? Facts. Facts are very important, not hype, not empty promises, not exaggeration. Facts. WeFi is legally registered in different jurisdictions. WeFi has been recognized already by Guinness World Record, recognized the best digital bank of the year last year, recognized, actually there was, our token was the #1 fastest growing token last year, and you can check it online as well. We are almost approaching 18 months of fully operational, with the 5 years planning 5 years ago. So when we see all these things, and with everything that's going on in the marketplace, when you look around USA, Malaysia, Philippines, Pakistan, Salvador, and now Brazil and other countries, they are coming in to become crypto friendly, especially in the banking segment. When you go deep inside on what WeFi has been preparing to integrate, keyword, integrate the banking, traditional banking, with full crypto exchanging services and platform into one, ladies and gentlemen, it's not easy. It's complex. It's complex. We are pleased to inform you that WeFi now is in a direct alignment partnership, working directly with Visa for a new rail of payment globally. We cannot give you details. We are not going to disclose corporate information either, but rest assured that WeFi is working directly with Visa with something very big, and you will see it coming soon. Also, European market, within these 90 days, we are preparing a massive campaign in Europe. We are getting a very heavy licensing in Europe as well. And yes, we are building a bank, not only banking platform, but a bank. Yesterday, with Mr. Maxime, there was a very clear message to the top qualified leaders, who, by the way, they're qualified to come to Dubai as well. When you get that information, directly or indirectly, and slowly we're going to reveal it to everybody, rest assured that each and every one right now, they are not only in the best place in the history, they are in a very unique position today versus a year from today. Once you understand the power of mining, the quantity of tokens, the value of tokens, we sent a video already yesterday, why our digital money is very unique and why everybody else's actually is not working. And we did not reveal this before. And there is information that we're not going to reveal very fast. It comes out slowly, simply because we don't want anybody else or the competition to be aware of what we are doing until it's already out and effective. Now, yesterday also we talked about the Visa relationship directly. The Visa card, the WeFi card, is now attached to a mining power. Imagine people spend money on a daily basis, and that converts those spendings from the fees, it will convert into ITO. So now people will spend money and will make money. And at the same time, the upline as well. Also, this week, probably Tuesday, if not Wednesday, the latest, we will open first time the first token, the first transaction available for exchanging platform, where people can now buy the WeFi token directly from your own account from the WeFi app. Now, let me tell you the difference. Until now, people around the world who are not signed up. They are not in WeFi. People in the public outside. The outsiders, they are buying the WeFi token. We're doing millions of dollars a day in transactions. People buy the WeFi token from Bitmart, Binks, in the exchanger platforms. Now, who is making the commissions when somebody is buying the WeFi token? The exchanging platform. Ladies and gentlemen, in the next few days, you will be able to buy the WeFi token directly from your own WeFi app. And not only that, the fee to buy is only 1%. And out of that 1%, 50% is commissionable to the community. Very interesting. Very interesting. And if somebody will put the WeFi token into the farming, the team will receive additional benefit and commission, energy and USDT. We're going to send you later on the slides with descriptions so everybody can understand that. Now, on top of that, we are launching the first ever WeFi suite. That will be a combination of services that people will be able to purchase for one time $199 and then $10 a month. And that will include the IBAN, the personal account, the Wi-Fi card, including travel visa assistance, tax, legal consulting, all like in assistance, right? So I want everybody to see now something. That's the way I see it. You have a network of 1,000 people, 500 people, 10,000 people, 30,000 people. When everybody buys one time $199 for that unique Wi-Fi suite services for $199, 50% of that is commissionable. On top of that is a monthly fee of only $10. So when you start combining the additional service that we just launched, plus the upcoming one, the Wi-Fi Premium, that will include additional benefits, including the metal card, that will be an additional profit. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell from my experience, 36 years in network marketing, developing teams around the world, I have never, ever, never seen anything close to Wi-Fi, not only because of the ITO or the tokens, is the combination that it will be combined between the banking, crypto exchange, lending programs, loans, not only for the tokens that they are blocked or locked for or farming, but also in the rank. So I will highly suggest everybody to open a little bit more the vision, increase the belief, and take massive action. Also, we announced something very special. You know that right now, if somebody will put the farming for 5 years instantly, they receive 30% more in ITO. Now, that was it so far. But now the 30% of ITO also will include 30% more gift certificates. That means more shares in the bank without any additional cost. But what is also interesting, that 30% of more ITO, and many people sometimes they're missing the point, there is additional 30, 40, even 50% more tokens that they come with the 30% extra ITO if you put it for 5 years. Now, there was a question yesterday. Well, if I already have it for 2 years, can I change it for the 5 years? Yeah, yes, you will be able to do that. So what I see from the announcement of yesterday for everybody, number one, it was a confirmation bank is coming, 100% certain. European market will be very big in the next, let's say 45 days to 90 days. By March, WeFi will be even in the soup. You eat soup, WeFi. You have coffee, WeFi. You go for a drink, WeFi. You go to a restaurant, WeFi. It's going to be a massive campaign. We like European market because those who are from Europe, they already know it's a complicated market with heavy regulations. And ladies and gentlemen, we've selected that region for its complexity, but also because there are many countries with one currency, which is euro. I know that everybody has too many questions, and sometimes when you ask too much and you get the answer, sometimes you get even more complicated. Now, the top qualified people who are coming to Dubai, it will be at the beginning of March. We will send the information in the probably Monday or Tuesday, full detail. They will have the opportunity to spend time with the executive management team, Reeve Collins, Maxim, and so forth. And the vision of everybody, not just vision and belief, but the understanding will increase dramatically. So don't wait until you come to Dubai to verify, to prove if it's real, not real, yes, is that correct, not correct, because you will see it. And for those who are going to wait a little bit, they will regret that they've been waiting. Take massive action. There will be additional incentives and rewards that will be announced Monday, rank bonuses and some other surprises. So the main points of yesterday, to sum it up: connection directly, partnership directly, working directly with Visa, a new product that will help everybody, not just to increase the profit, but also provide amazing services for each KOL or customer. Additional 30% in shares, and even more in tokens. European market is opening. And what else can I tell you? Well, I'm so excited. Sometimes I'm trying to remember. There's so many things that I can tell you and not tell you because I have to hold back a little bit. But all I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that 50-50 share, that 50-50 residual passive income from banking transactions, crypto exchange, and as of this week, you will see it with your own eyes, how when you buy WeFi token, how commission will roll up. It will be very simple because it will be visible. So with that said, Mr. Frankie,
thank you.
I came here, I interrupted everybody else because I wanted to be with you.
Thank you, John. I really appreciate the time. Guys, so as I was saying, right, where do I think the price of the token will end up? Well, if you have a look, and we just do a side-by-side comparison. We're not talking about Bitcoin. We're not talking about anything else. We're doing side-by-side comparison of two tokens in the marketplace, right, of what I think the potential of WeFi will end up. When you look at all the boxes we tick compared to, say, BNB, and I didn't even have, the referral of working hand in hand with a company as big as Visa. So if you think Amazon and Ripple is big news, well, guess what? You know how big Visa is and where it is. It's in every corner of the world, right? So we're going to work hand in hand. So where do I think the price of the token, will it grow only by 800% in the next 7 years? No, I think we can add a zero, at least a zero, onto the figures that I showed you earlier. So then you'll understand why even somebody coming in here at $250, right? Why somebody coming in at $250 is important. And that's what I think we need to be focusing on now, is opening up as many branches of your bank as you possibly can. As you possibly can right now, before the hype and the growth comes to the market. When people, as John said, as Dr. John said, when people are sitting down over soup, they're talking about WeFi. Over their dinner, talking about WeFi. When they're having a slice of pizza, they're talking about WeFi. You have the opportunity to be in what I believe is Bitcoin 3.0. The next evolution, the next stage, the next growth phase of our cryptocurrency and smart contracts and blockchain is going to go with a Web3 platform. That's it today for today's call. We'll be doing a similar type call tomorrow. We won't have Dr. John on it tomorrow. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll be available. But we'll be able to give the updates as we've seen them. Thank you very much for being on the call, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Frank Lawler, and we'll see you at the exact same time tomorrow. Have a fabulous day. Have a great Saturday wherever you are in the world, or maybe some parts of the world is already into Sunday. Have a fabulous day. Thank you.